Welcome back to On the Fly. Today we are taking a look at a trade between the New York Rangers and the Dallas Stars. So the Stars do receive Nils Lundkvist in exchange for a conditional 2023 first-round pick and a 2025 conditional fourth-round pick. So to take a look at the conditions, it is a top 10 protected first-round pick in 23. If the Stars do end up with a top 10 pick, then it is protected, so the Stars retain that pick, and they give the 2024 first-round pick to New York, which is unprotected. So if it falls in that top 10, the Rangers would get that pick in 2024, but if it's in 2023, that pick will be protected, and they'll keep that pick in terms of that. But we're taking a look at this next part, is 2025 fourth-round pick. So it is a 2025 fourth-round pick unless Nils Lundkvist over the next two seasons accumulates 55 points total over the next two seasons combined. And if that happens, then they'll get a 2025 third-round pick instead of the fourth-round pick. So it is an interesting deal for both sides. With the departure of Klingberg for Dallas, it makes a lot of sense for the Stars to go after a right-shot defenseman. Typically, Heiskanen played along that side, but we're going to probably see Heiskanen back on his strong side, which was that left side. You get a right-shot defenseman who's sort of been compared to a guy like Adam Fox. That was the original comparison for him before, obviously, Adam Fox did go off and have a pretty good year. So when we take a look at this, Dallas does get a very good player. As for New York, there really was no spot for him. So when we take a look at that, Jones was going to fill in for the Rangers at that sixth D-man. So there was no real spot for Lundkvist overall. So they get a first-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and this is where it sort of gets a little bit interesting, because if we look at the Rangers right now, sort of where they are, I would not be surprised to see a little Patrick Kane action, especially the rumors start to pick up now that they have an extra first-round pick. Don't be surprised if that pick ends up turning into a guy like Patrick Kane, mainly because, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, just sort of the way that it works out. The Rangers are looking for a right winger to sort of go along with Panarin, and I think overall this is where the Rangers start to sort of capitalize on their cap space where they are. They've done pretty well in terms of what they have left. I think the Rangers are definitely poised to make a big move coming over the next few weeks to try and really bolster up their lineup before the season. I think this is the year the Rangers go all in and finally make a deep playoff push. Would not be surprised to see them deeper on. And I think this trade right here is going to be a big part in the sort of the process towards Patrick Kane. It is a very deep draft class this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if that pick ends up not being the protected pick. I think Dallas is going to be sort of that fringe team on the playoffs, and I don't know if they'll make it. I think they'll be very close. I think they'll be sort of probably in that 5 points of that wild card like they normally are in the final few games. So I think when you look at Dallas's move right now, this right here is a long-term move, having Heiskanen and Lundkvist as your 1-2 guy. You're going to lock up Lundkvist most likely, sort of sign to a long-term deal once his 2 years are up. He's signed this year and he's signed next year. Then after that, you'll probably sign him to a long-term deal. That seems to be sort of what's going on in the market right now. Sign him to a long-term deal, lock him up for a lot of years. And you sort of look at his position right now. It's that right shot defenseman, very hard to find in today's market. So I think it's a really good move for Dallas. Get a guy that's probably going to be with you for a long time. He wanted out of New York anyway, so when we look at that, I mean, you are giving up a little bit of value, but at the end of the day, I think it is a very good move for both sides. Lundkvist is well worth the picks, and at the end of the day, whatever the Rangers do next, which I would not be surprised to see if it's Kane. And if it is Kane, I mean, the Rangers obviously probably are going to win this deal. Lundkvist for Kane, that's a good deal, especially right now. Given the contract, you wouldn't be surprised to see, and the non-movement clause, would not be surprised to sort of see Kane dictate where he goes. Would not be surprised if that's the New York Rangers. And at the end of the day, where that pick or where that goes is going to determine what the picks are coming back. So I wouldn't be surprised to see sort of a 50% retained for a first-round pick, maybe 2 first-round picks to Chicago. We'll have to see sort of what the deal is there, because Kane most likely will not be returning in a Chicago Blackhawks uniform this year, and he will more than likely be gone by the trade deadline. We're very surprised to see him still with the Blackhawks at the trade deadline, but there are crazier things that have happened. So we'll get into the trade grades right now. For me, I'm going to give a B+ to the Dallas Stars. I think they overpaid just a tad bit. They do get a pretty solid player in Lundkvist, but at the end of the day, I think the Rangers are the winners. Especially mainly because he wanted out in the first place. Typically when you see a player want out of a team, that value goes significantly down. But the Rangers still found a way to make a big deal and get a lot of value for a player where, to be honest, you kind of get lucky for that kind of value. And both sides definitely are winners in this deal. Very rarely do you see a double win trade. Today, I think there was a double win trade, and definitely look towards the New York Rangers to see if they're going to sign Patrick Kane. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. If you'd like to drop a like, if you really liked, consider subscribing. Tell all your friends, leave a comment down below your thoughts on the trade. Until next time, see ya.